What's up, everyone? Pags here at MEI Studio. This week's review is a viewer suggestion. A company long known for signal processing dove into the mic manufacturing game a while back and has flown mostly under the radar. So much so that it's actually kind of hard to find some of their products in the wild. We're looking at the ART AR5 active ribbon mic, this time on the Mic Locker. If you're looking for the audio tests for this mic, you can use the timestamps in the description to fast forward to those, but I usually like to look at a little bit of the background of the company that we're dealing with to get a feel for what it's all about. So before we get into the tests of the mic, let's take a short look at the history of ART, or Applied Research and Technology. Applied Research and Technology was founded around 1984 in Rochester, New York by a few engineers who worked together at the guitar pedal company MXR. Those engineers were Phil Battet, Tony Gambacurta, John Langlouise, Richard Neutrohr, and Terry Sherwood. Originally, the group entered the market making basic, affordable digital reverbs that were solidly built. The brand quickly branched out into making preamps, power amps, compressors, and multi-effect units for bass and guitar. The 90s saw the company aggressively marketing their guitar products with blazing hot pink artwork like the Night Bass bass amp and the SGX 2000 with its matching floorboard for guitar. You couldn't pick up a bass or guitar magazine around that time without having your eye bombarded with the neon pink Saved by the Bell looking graphics. The effect sounds were the epitome of the late 80s and early 90s, heavily processed guitars which sounded as big as the hair of the people that used them. In 1995, the company would release their longest-running and probably most well-known product, the Tube MP. The art on these was toned down a bit and were so popular, certain retail outlets were giving them away with the purchase of other equipment, sometimes completely unrelated equipment. I remember having one thinking, what am I going to do with this? I think I'd bought a bass cabinet or something, and since I spent a certain amount of money, musician's friend just sent one along for the ride. It was nominated for a Tech Award in 1996 for Outstanding Technical Achievement, and honestly, for the price of the thing and what you got with it, probably should have won. The thing is still in production today, and it's celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. That's pretty impressive. This pre led the way for ART's famous VLA opto/FET compressor, and the MPA tube mic pre/channel strip units, which are still also around and have come in many different iterations over the years. Both are pretty cool units, by the way. I've owned both of them at one point. Since ART was a small manufacturer by many standards, they had originally partnered with a larger company, Yorkville Sound, to help distribute their products and get into many of the popular music outlets of the time, like Guitar Center, Sam Ash, American Musical Supply, and Musician's Friend, amongst others. Eventually, ART decided to join Yorkville, and both companies are now subs of Long & McQuaid Limited. Product development moved across the lake to Toronto, Canada, but sales and service offices still remain in upstate New York. I reached out to Yorkville's PR department, Mr. Greenspan, to try and get some more information and history of the brand and products, but as usual with these companies, no response. Great PR, guys. It's hard to say when their first microphone hit the shelves exactly, but as a collector of mics and studio owner for almost 30 years now, God, I'm getting old, I don't recall seeing ART mics before the last few years. Apparently, though, ART started putting out mics in around 2009, which included some condenser mics as well as some ribbon mics that looked curiously close to the Cascade Fathead. Currently, though, the company has about 7 mics on the market, including one USB mic, a number of large diaphragm condensers, a pair of SDCs, and this, the AR5. Now, on to the specs of the mic. The AR5 is a dual-ribbon active microphone, so there are 2 ribbons in this mic for added sensitivity, which is rated at negative 42 dB, which is better than an SM7B, a 57, or a 58. The active circuit helps with this, as well as taking the phantom power on the line out of the equation, since it is required with this mic. The mic's body is a precision-tooled brass with a matte black powder coat. The mesh is recessed into the body past the cutout, so there's no worry of deforming the windscreen. The mic is figure 8, as most ribbon mics are, and the ribbon itself is claimed to be 2 microns thick aluminum, which is respectable, and claims a max SPL level of 150 dB. However, that's rated at 1K, again, which probably means the max SPL is probably a little bit lower, but 150 dB at 1K, it's nothing to sneeze at. And speaking of sneezing, the manufacturer correctly warns users against blowing, tapping, or banging the microphone. Unlike the stag we saw last time that suggests putting the mic as close as possible to a singer. The frequency response is listed from 20 Hz to 18K, but there is a steep drop-off after about 10K according to the sheet. While this isn't going to tell us how the mic is going to react in every situation, we can tell that this mic is probably going to be on the darker side of things. It's not a problem though. There's also a little dip between 40 and 200 Hz, which is nice for a ribbon that you plan on placing close to a source, like a guitar cabinet. That is a help to try and tame the proximity effect a little bit. There's no defined impedance listed. It just states less than 100 ohms, which is low for any kind of mic. However, since it is an active circuit, kind of makes sense, and also helps to put this mic in the usable spectrum of most users with standard preamps, as the recommended load for this mic is only 1000 ohms. Most interfaces and mic preamps will handle this with ease. The mic stands 6.9 inches high, or 174.5 millimeters, and is 1.1 inches in diameter, or about 28 millimeters. The mic comes in a solid carrying case and includes a soft case to protect from dust when not being used, as well as a really well-made shock mount. And in case anyone is wondering, no, this shock mount won't fit the Royer R121 or the Stag might, which kind of a shame because shock mount's pretty awesome. There's also a 3/8 adapter and no hard clip is included. Bummer. Well, we see what it looks like, but what does it sound like? Let's get this mic into the studio and put it on a number of things that I'd typically expect to use a ribbon mic like this on. Let's go. It's a little hard to see a black mic on a black background, but we're going to do a quick vocal test on this microphone just to see what it sounds like on voice. This is the ART AR5 active ribbon microphone, approximately 6 inches from my mouth. We're going to turn the microphone 90 degrees. This is the null point. And now this is the back of the AR5 microphone from ART. Since it's a ribbon mic, I really don't want to do plosives, but I'll kind of go sideways with it a little bit. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pizzas. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pineapple pizzas? Simple Simon said something stupid. Simple Simon said something stupid. This is what the AR5 microphone sounds like when you get really close to it. And this is the AR5 microphone from 6 inches away. This is the AR5 microphone from about 12 inches away. Since this is a ribbon mic, it's not meant to be handheld. I'm not going to do a handling test. Doesn't make any sense. One thing I would like to mention about the mic is when I received the microphone, it seemed to have a little bit of a rattle to it. There are a number of small screws on the bottom of the mic down here. One of them had become loose and was causing the mic to kind of rattle inside the casing. Once I tightened it up, mic was good to go. So if you do pick one of these up and you do have that situation, you just need a tiny screwdriver, tighten it up, good to go. Okay, so my hunch was right. It's a dark mic, but it's not crazy dark like some other mics that I have here that I haven't done a video on. The Monoprice active ribbon mic, for instance, where treble goes to die. Anyway, it's dark, but I don't feel like it's a bad kind of dark sound. In fact, I actually really liked it on Acoustic Bass. It captured that tubby bottom end and sounded way more woody to me than the 121. Placement maybe, but at 8 inches, not thinking it's a huge difference. Anyway, wasn't a huge fan of it on the electric guitar examples, however, I did like it on the piano. This would be a great sound for a darker, more cinematic sound for the piano where you don't want a ton of that top end brightness. It was decent on electric bass as well and handled the lows even better than some other ribbon mics that are more than 5 times the price. As with everything I show on this channel, I don't make recommendations for purchases. I'll leave that up to you and what you heard. Does an active ribbon mic that costs $160 fill a need that you have? If you are interested in picking one of these up, or more than one of these, I do have an affiliate link below for Sweetwater, which, if you use it, will help the channel out financially. What did you think of the mic? Leave me some comments below. If you have any questions on something we did, or maybe something I didn't cover, please let me know. Let's chat about it. If you gotten anything from today's video, please consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons. They really help the channel to grow and reach a wider audience. If you're into studio gear and microphones, be sure to tap that notify button so you're notified when we put up a new video. My schedule's been a little hectic lately with a lot of projects in the studio, and I haven't really been able to keep a regular upload schedule, so notify button will help out. If you're interested in supporting the channel, consider becoming a member of the channel. We're going to have some new members-only content coming out really soon, and members do get to check the videos out, usually days ahead of everyone else. Well, that's going to do it for this time. This is Pags, signing off.